guys, James again, and for those of you familiar with the channel, you would know this rifle here. Now this is my FX Wildcat, and this is the Mark 1. Obviously the Mark 2s have just come out. And while I was up at the shooting show a couple of months ago, I bumped into Masood from EagleVision. You would have seen a few of his products on our page already. Obviously I'm currently testing his infinity mount on my Chris Defiance. And I've also used various bits and pieces, including the scope cams, etc. On some of my other guns. And obviously we've done videos on those. But while I was up chatting with him, I couldn't help but notice his Wildcat in the background. Now he had done loads of Gucci bits and pieces with his. And basically put all of his parts on and some. And it looked amazing. At the back of the stand, you couldn't help but see it. So having a chat with him, and he's very kindly given us a few of the products to test ourselves. Now I've got one of them already fitted on, which is the mag holder here. Seeing as that's fitted on, that'd be a really good place to start. So we'll have a quick look at the mag holder, show you what they are, show you how to fit them, and just give you a quick intro, and then we'll move on and carry on and have a look at a few of the other products. So the first product we're going to look at, as I say, is the mag holders. Now for a while I've been looking at options to carry extra rounds out. Obviously this for a long time was my night vision gun, so I usually had the X sight on the top, and it was my go-to gun. So to have extra ammunition carrying around, not in pockets, just on the gun, was something I wanted. So when I saw the mounts that Masood's obviously made, yeah, they seemed like a viable option. So he's given us a few to try out. As you'll see, I've only got the one fitted at the moment. Reason for that really is I only really carry one extra magazine with me. So if one is off and it's in the gun, the empty one then goes in the holder. Now as you'll see there, it's a really nice positive click to get the magazine in and out. So there's no faffing around with latches. You can turn the gun upside down, shake it around, do everything you want to do, and the magazine doesn't come out. Now fitting, really simple again. As you'll see again on the close-ups, it will show you. It's just a simple screw and a washer. So you put the bar through the rail, you can see these slots here, push it through, tighten it up with the supplied Allen keys. Again, you don't have to worry about going and finding Allen keys, they do come with the mounts. And then once it's fitted on, you can position them however you want. So I have mine facing upwards. Sometimes if you're using sort of the X sight, this can interfere, so it might be better to have them upside down, and in that way you just lift them out or down, whatever way you want to go. And like I say, really nice simple solution. They are on his website. There's no price on the listing at the moment, so go and check those out if you're definitely a Wildcat owner that's one to look at. And yeah, obviously that's sort of upgrade one, so to speak. Now, one of the first questions I usually see on the forums, especially with the Wildcats actually, which is quite unusual, is how do I put a silencer on it? Now, as you'll see from the rifle here, because it's fully shrouded, they haven't put an adapter on the end of it. Now, as I say, it's shrouded, it's very quiet, but if you need that little bit of extra, you can unscrew the shroud cap like so, which is nice and simple, and that comes out. And then you can get the EagleVision adapter. Now this just screws in where your shroud cap comes out. You'll see the two are very similar. And that basically gives you a 1/2 inch UNF thread. Now on that thread you can put any moderator you want. Now for those of you that want to keep it blingy and keep the Wildcat looking really smart, you can fit it with, I don't know, a Hug It Belita for example. The Hug It moderators, they're not cheap, not by any means, but they do look absolutely amazing. So if image and sort of a certain sense of practicality is what you're looking for, go for a Hug It. Now for those of you that are probably sat there going, oh my god, it's £70, you can buy a sack for 30, well you can chuck one of those on as well. They don't look as good as you'll see, but they do fit. UNF thread, go straight on. Now one thing I will say is when you're fitting the mount, it does come with two little metal rods inside the packet when you get it. Now what I would advise is put those two rods down the holes that you'll see on the front, and then use that to torque the base of the adapter onto the barrel, or well onto the shroud, you know what I mean. And then that way you're not tightening the thread the thread cover onto the mount, so you can still undo your thread cover, because obviously I appreciate most people will just fit this mount, put a moderator straight on it, and then it will probably stay like that for the rest of the time. So that's something to bear in mind. Now I think they're about £22 on Masood's website. Again, check out the website for those. They're fully listed there. Now they will fit the Wildcat. I believe they fit the Royale. That could be a text box along the bottom saying I'm wrong, but I do believe they fit the Royale as well. So again, something to bear in mind and to have a look at. So one of the most sort of exciting things that I picked up really were the new mounts. Now these are the Infinity FAE S50s, and as you can see they are individual tower mounts. So rather than a one piece, they are two piece mounts. Now I've been testing the Infinity FAE on my Chris Defiant. It's actually a rimfire, and that's a one piece mount which you can adjust up and down. And it's been amazing. So to have these now on an air rifle is exactly what I wanted. Now it's worth noting these mounts are 20mm, so if you're running impacts or anything like that, they will just bolt straight on as any sort of 20mm rail would. But for those of you that want to run them on, say, just normal Weaver dovetail, there is an adapter. And before, it used to be one of the rails that were the long sections of rail. That I used to use for fitting the X-sight on this rifle, whereas now they've got these really discreet little adapters that clip inside the mounts themselves. Now they're really nicely made, and sort of a bit of a backstory with this. When we were trying to get the X-sight fitted on the Wildcat, I was struggling like crazy to find a rail adapter that would work. I tried Hawk, Sports Match, and a couple other brands. There was always a bit of play, there was always a bit of rattle. Now we bought the EagleVision adapter off the website, and we fitted it on. It was a bit of a kind of well, we got nothing to lose. And I tell you what, it's the only mount that we found that once clamped down doesn't rattle. Now it's a really neat sprung loaded design, so you can see they just clip inside the mounts nice and easy. And then you just tighten them up as you normally would with any other mount, and you're good to go. Now these are 30mm diameter on the rings. Now the scope that I was going to be fitting today is a Panamax. It's one of my friend's scopes, and we were going to fit that, but unfortunately I left the shims at home. But as you'll see here, you can shim it. The shims fit really nicely into the mounts, and they will fit the scope then perfectly. There's well, there is no wobble. They fit perfectly. Now Allen keys wise, it's just usual sizes, so you know they do come in the box, but if you don't have them, just go and get a normal metric Allen key set. I believe it's either 3mm for the top and possibly 2mm, or either or. It's either 2mm or 3mm, so just bear that one in mind. Okay, so that's pretty much sort of the showcase of the new EagleVision mounts and adapters sort of completed really. Now overall I have to say, as well, with anything that you get from EagleVision, value for money against quality is just superb. You're getting really top end bits that you can attach, you know, your Gucci silencers, your nice adapters, and you know, all this good stuff, but for a fraction of the price some of the other competitors are offering. Now obviously these parts here are very kindly supplied when we were at the shooting show by EagleVision camera, by Masood, and yeah, a huge thank you to him. But I wouldn't be championing them if I didn't genuinely believe they were good products. Now before, obviously I've used the scope camera setups, we've used the Infinity mounts on my, well, it was on my Impact, it's now on my 22 rimfire, and you know, we've used a load of the products, and like I said back along, the adapter mounts that go from 20mm to 11, they are by far the best option I found, and for a fraction of the price of some of the other options. So it's kit that I genuinely believe in, it's kit that we want to test ourselves and to use, and that's why I just champion them on the page really. Now the mounts, well, I say the mounts, I'm actually going to give them to a friend of mine. They are going to be run, anybody that knows the channel, Paul is often mentioned. Now he runs a Mark 1 Rapid with a 25mm Panamax on top. Now to go further out, do a bit of long range shooting with the Rapid, I'm actually going to give him these and the adapters and the shims, obviously, so he can fit his own scope on. So we're going to continue using multiple of the products all on one, and in 6 months or so I will do an update on how we're getting on, any issues we found, anything like that, which to be fair, with comparing against some of the other products in the history that I've had with EagleVision equipment, I can't see there being any problems. So I'm looking forward to bringing you a bit of the Rapid, obviously more with the mounts as well. This will probably be the last time you see the Wildcat on your screens. I can't justify keeping it. The Impact and the Crown have very much taken the place of the Wildcat, so it's an expensive thing just to have sat around that I'm not using. So this will probably be the last time you see it. It's no reflection of the gun at all. The others are just, well, they cover everything, and yeah. Now I've loved having the Impact. Well, I've loved having the Impact so much that we just haven't use the Wildcat, so that's why this one will be going quite soon. Now I will put a link going across the bottom of this screen to EagleVision's website. Go and check it out. As I say, company are superb, the products are superb. I can't recommend them enough. So anyway, any questions, any comments, feel free to post them below. I'll try and get back to every single one of you. And yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video and it's given you something to think about. And if you do own a Wildcat, you know, you've got a few bits here that you can fit on. So anyway, until the next video, guys, thank you very much for watching. Any questions, any comments, pop them below. But until next time, thanks for watching.